So I'm here with Vance, the co-buyer at Monsieur Marcel in the original farmers market in Los Angeles, and I'm completely inspired. And one of the things I'm inspired by are all these wonderful teas. It's beautiful to look at, beautiful to smell. So explain to us, where does tea come from?
Well, the interesting thing is that whether it's white tea, green tea, black tea, it all comes from the same bush, the Camellia sinensis plant. The difference is where those tea bushes are actually like the elevation, if it's shade grown, if it's out in the sun, how early or how late it's harvested. And once it's harvested, the process. And that'll determine whether it comes out as like a green tea or an oolong or a black tea, etc.
Oh, that's so fascinating. So white tea is the least sort of fermented? I mean,
Right. It's the youngest. It's generally very high elevation, so it doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. And then the bud, it's very, very young, very, very small, and it's covered in little white hairs, and that's why it's called white tea.
Oh.
But it's the same kind of like, a little green tea bud. White tea has the least amount of processing. So it's basically just gently steamed and quickly dried, and that's it.
Okay, so it has most of its sort of natural protection in some way.
Right.
And then green tea would be next in that order.
So general green teas are more like sunlight grown. And then the first harvest is called a first flush. It's picked and then it's gently steamed. And the steaming process locks in that color and also stops the oxidization. And then after that, it's dried and then rolled.
And so the best quality green tea, right, is the matcha?
Matcha, wow, matcha is in a different category altogether, yeah. Matcha is really cool. Matcha in Japan, in a very, very small region near Mount Fuji, it's an area called Uji. The top elevation area, they actually cover the tea bushes so that it is shade grown. And then when the tea buds are very, very young, they're picked. And that shade growing actually increases the chlorophylls and it gets deeper, darker green in color. And also increases the benefits.
And you can taste it. You can taste
totally
the
taste
chlorophyll
it.
in matcha.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so rich, but there's a natural sweetness too.
So let's talk about the flavors. So we have green, white, and black tea that's all coming from the same plant.
Right.
But then there's this huge variety of teas on the shelf.
Right.
Most of those varieties, I guess, are from added sort of seasonings in the tea. Would that be correct?
There's, I think, different traditions of blending flavors with teas. So, if you think about British tea, you think about English breakfast or Irish breakfast and Scottish breakfast, more malty, like, heavier teas, which go great with that bergamot, that really wonderful citrus to make Earl Grey. And then go over to France, in the French tea salons, it's a little bit lighter. There's a big combination of green teas and black teas, floral flavors and fruit flavors, and some gentle spice flavors or aromatic flavors. I mean, it's a little more delicate.
And then there's, of course, like more of the Asian spectrum, which is like the chai and the Near and Far East. That's like a whole other realm of tea. I mean, there's so much to explore. It's really magical.
It's a lot of fun too.